Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with Alex Bookman, this time behind the camera. Today we're going to take a look at the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. This is the TRD off-road trim level, so very similar to the TRD Pro and a lot of the other TRDs that you're familiar with. 2017 version, not a whole lot has changed from 2016, which was the major refresh for the Tacoma. You'll see some of the updated styling. We'll show you that in just a second. But what's new for 2017? Well, they've added the Trd Pro Trim, and I'll get into all the other trims here in just a second. And they've kind of distinguished a few minor features and made it a little bit simpler in terms of adding certain features, taking off, and changing some of the options around. So with that, Alex, let's give them a walk around the vehicle. I'll kind of step out so you can see, again, 2017 Toyota Tacoma. For those who haven't seen this vehicle before, it was refreshed in 2016. You can see that grille, again, was part of the refresh there. You can see that TRD skid plate below that Alex just showed you. And this is the sand brown, and I'm not sure I'm saying that exactly correct, but I personally love this color. Some other people don't. We'll talk about that in the opinion portion. As we come alongside, you'll notice the 16-inch alloy wheels. It does have Bilstein suspension dampers on this vehicle, on this specific trim package, which is, again, the TRD off-road, the electronic locking rear differential, and a crawl control system. And obviously, that's not all that's on this vehicle. A lot of other features as well, but just a few highlights that differentiates this trim level from a lot of the other, or from the other trim levels in this, I guess, in this class, in this vehicle. You'll notice the TRD 4x4 off-road sticker. We come around to the back. You'll notice right here, I'll step in real quick, the Tacoma stamped into the tailgate. This does have the V6 option. There is 2 engine options available. This one having the V6 right here. Real quick, want to point out a few things before we get into the tailgate portion. This does have the tonneau cover as well as the V6 towing package. Both of those options are $650, which is really nice. And Alex, let's show them real quick. Want to mention that does have that damping lower tailgate, I should say, lowering the tailgate. Tonneau cover is really nice, really easy to open up, but I just do want to show how this works really quickly for everyone at home so you can see that. It's really nice. This is as far back as it goes, so if you have larger cargo, you're going to be hard-pressed to get it. You probably should take off the tonneau cover because this is as much open air as you get. You do have this cargo management system that Toyota has become, not famous for, but they've started incorporating it on their vehicles, trucks mainly, of course, to where you can actually move these cleats and tie down different pieces of equipment, different items at different points on the truck. And as we come across, this bed mat is an added option in here as well. And you'll see over there on that right side, which, Alex, I'm going to swing behind you here. This is a full power outlet back here. So if you wanted to power a generator or whatever it might be, a TV, if you wanted to tailgate, you could definitely do that. Underneath the bed mat, which you don't necessarily need, this is all molded into the body, so you're not going to worry about scratching anything underneath. It's kind of a hard plastic type of material, so there's no need to worry and to fret about how that's going to work. One other thing I will note, put this up the tailgate, which it does have a rear view camera. I'm going to fold this down, and I want to show you that you don't actually need to open the tailgate to lock this, which is really nice. So locking tailgate, of course, but if you just wanted to fold something in, you forgot about it, put it up, you don't have to pull it down, unlike some other soft top tonneau covers. This actually, it is a hard top, and it does allow you to lock it and latch it while the tailgate itself is up. And you can see Alex is showing you the rest of it, and this does have the Tacoma branding on it. And some of you may be saying, wow, that's for $650. I may want to just install that very easily there. So which is a really, really nice feature. Again, Alex has shown you some of those. Again, added bonuses. The rest of it is pretty much what you would find. This does have rear parking sensors on it. Does not have the rear cross traffic alert on this model, but that is available safety-wise. Real quick, Alex, before we do get into the back seat, I want to mention a couple things. This is the crew cab, so a double cab, sorry, Toyota refers to it as a double cab. Some of you may be more familiar with it as a crew cab, something to note. Also, this is the long box. And so, Alex, I'm going to actually have you kind of step over here and we'll show the portion. I don't have the exact measurements, but you'll notice this is a longer box than normal. So, just an option. You can get it in a short box, or you can get it or standard box, whatever you want to call it. But it is an option. There are 6 trim levels available. The SR, the SR5, the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, which is right here, the Limited, and the TRD Pro. And all of those, of course, have their own level of features and packages that are available on each of those vehicles and trim levels. So with that, Alex, let's hop into the back seat real quick. Just give everyone a short introduction here. I do want to, we try to do this and we're not great at it. Want to show you the door apportionments here. Some really, I don't want to say soft touch materials because it's not. It's meant to go off-road. It's meant to get dirty. Some nice cup holder, map storage right along there. In terms of the seats, relatively comfortable. I don't want to say very comfortable, but relatively comfortable. Had several different people riding in here. Actually took a couple different people to the airport out here in Colorado. Drove on the highway. Was not bad at all. Was relatively comfortable. You can see the 2 cup holders right there, which is really nice. There's no vents back here. Something to note, and you do, and once Alex pulls out, we'll show this. If you look at the headliner, it does swoop up. You do have a sunroof on this vehicle, so it does swoop up a little bit, but these seats, you'll notice, do sit a little bit higher. Just something that we like to point out to everyone, that these seats ride a little bit higher here in the back seat. And again, this is an off-road minded vehicle. I don't know how else to say that. Show myself getting in and out. Move the toolkit over here. This is set for a 5'9", 5'10" driver. I've got enough legroom. I've probably got an inch or so of room right here, but enough that I could take a short trip. And again, height with this indentations that are up here that Alex just showed you, more than reasonable, more than amenable for, again, for a short distance. But if you are a taller 6 foot or above passenger, you may struggle with this back seat just a bit. Getting in and out for the ladies, easy to do, especially with that longer box. Push that wheel well just a little bit. So for the most part, that's the majority of the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. With that, I'm going to have Alex hop on the other side. We'll give you a short intro to the front portion of the 2017 Tacoma, and then we'll take a quick drive of the 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. All right, fans, here we are for the front seat portion, 2017 Toyota Tacoma. As Alex gets a little bit closer, as we always try to do, I want to show you a little bit of the interior apportionments before we get driving. First and foremost, the passenger seat, which is the same as the driver's seat. Some nice orange contrast stitching there, really makes it stand out. They've also kind of put a tread-like pattern right here on the front seat. Really, honestly, nice, and that's actually on the back seat as well. Fairly comfortable seats as well. Enough support that, again, you can take a decent drive. You've got 3 cup holders, 1, 2, 3, right up in here, which is a really nice feature that Toyota's done. You can fit your phone, again, iPhone 7 Plus, fully back in there. It will lie flat, which is nice. It's not going to bounce around. Does have the QI wireless charging as well. Alex, let's show them this really quick, which is it does have a little bit of a center console here with a power port down below, USB and auxiliary and power ports up here, as we can see. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead of Alex right there. The parking sensors, the blind spot monitoring warning, the heated mirrors as well, dual climate control, and dual heated seats up here in the front, which is a really nice feature. Nice. I kind of like this contrasting, and I don't know if that's a red, if that's an orange. I would say it's almost a burnt orange, sort of a contrasting throughout the dash, which just gives really nice lines, in my opinion, to this vehicle. And before we do it, because it's hard to go, Alex, let's show them the sunroof. Again, really a nice feature, just an added bonus that Toyota's thrown in, again, on this vehicle. And it's going to vary by the packages that you get, but just something that we notice, which is really nice. And the last thing I'll say before we get to the back, which is right here, Alex, if you want to show them that, which this came standard last year, which is the GoPro mount into the windshield. So you can actually mount your GoPro right there into the windshield and record going forward, record the passengers, whatever you want to do for that heavy duty off-roading this machine is capable of. So with that being said, we'll have Alex hop in the back seat. We'll take a quick drive in the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. All right, fans, here we are for the driving portion. 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. A little bit of a mouthful. 2017 Toyota Tacoma for short. Real quick, want to show you the infotainment system. This does have the optional $3,000 Premium and Technology Package, I believe is what the correct name of it is, which is a really nice feature. Again, 7-inch display. For those of you that are familiar with it, you know that this is one of our personal favorites, to be honest with you. This home screen, which you can set up however you would want to, customize. Volume and tune knobs right here. Again, we mentioned the heated seats. Real quick, while we're in this view, Alex, let's show them the rear view camera. You do not have any dynamic grid lines, but you don't really need them. This truck's small enough. It's not that big of a deal. You can see where you're going, get as close to a curb as you need to. And I wish that we could take this vehicle a little bit more heavy duty off-road, but unfortunately, just with us, we don't feel like this is our vehicle to tear up too bad, and so we don't want to mess with that at all. So let's take a quick drive, and I apologize about the bumpiness again. This is the TRD off-road model, not meant for comfort. I will just say that right out. Now, is it so uncomfortable that you can't drive this vehicle? Not in the least bit. Just something that we do like to point out. As I mentioned before, the 3.5 liter V6 is underneath the hood, rated for 18 and 23 miles per gallon with a 20 average, and that's right exactly where I've been. My dad was a little bit higher, right at 21, 22. I mentioned before a few of the features in the back in terms of the cargo capacity, the fuel economy, that V6. One thing to note, and it took a little bit getting used to, for whatever reason, and I thought it was just me, I wanted to read a few reviews just to make sure, but this has a little bit of a touchy brake pedal. And by that is you really barely touch it and it starts to slow you down. I don't know if that's intended to be that way or I'm not sure. So I thought it was just me. Some of the reviewers say the same thing, so you're gonna have to be the judge. Real quick, Alex, before we get into the opinion, before we pull out, this is where the crawl control is, as well as the electronic locking differential. But again, crawl control, which is essentially like a slow speed cruise control for off-roading. You're at a base of a hill, it'll walk you through it in the owner's manual. You make sure everything, the transfer case, everything's in the right position. You hit this and it'll actually crawl you up a hill where you don't have to mess with anything. You just have to touch the brakes if you want to, which is a nice feature. One thing, at our altitude, in all honesty, we felt like this vehicle was a little bit underpowered for what we were going to do with it. Now, if you're going off-road strictly with this vehicle, you'll probably have more than enough power. That's not a big thing. But if this is your everyday vehicle, this is going to be something, in our opinion, that you are going to be wanting more of, especially when you get on the highway. It really jumps back and forth between gears, trying to find the right gear at which you want to be at. So just something to note. Wasn't a deal breaker for us, just was something to keep in mind. Now, with all that being said, I want to mention a few other things, I guess, in terms of comparison in our opinion. What did we think of this vehicle? Toyota hasn't changed a whole lot from 2016 to 2017. We were fans of this vehicle then, we were fans of the vehicle before then, and we continue to be fans of this vehicle. I think that Toyota's done a tremendous job with the TRD program, with their off-road capabilities, with the general appearance of the truck. I think it's fantastic. I say all that with saying this. I think that the market is becoming a lot more competitive than what it used to be. You've got the GMC Canyon, the Chevrolet Colorado. You don't have anything really from Dodge and Ford yet in terms of this kind of small to mid-size, but you do have obviously the Nissan Frontier, and you've also got the Honda Ridgeline, and the Ridgeline obviously being redesigned for 2017 as well. So a lot of different competition. Chevrolet is just coming out with their Colorado ZR2 package, which is, in our opinion, going to be pretty cool, geared towards this off-road enthusiast. So, in our opinion, Toyota, I think it's 2 thumbs up still. I think that the power, especially here at our altitude, I'd like to see that maybe done a little bit better. Just something to note on our end. I think competition is getting stronger. However, the TRD side of it in Toyota, the Tacoma, is still holding its own with the very best of them. So, if you want to learn more about this vehicle, head to your local dealer, get in it, get your family in it, get your buddies in it, whoever it is, test drive this vehicle, see if it's the right fit for you. And when you do that, let them know that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.